히데 선수가 젠지라는 팀에 들어가서 이제 어떻게 변했을지는 아직은 모르니까 이제 대회에서 붙어보고 그래야지 좀 스타일을 알지 않을까 싶어요.
승용아 뭐 이번 연에도 서로서로 파이팅하고 다시 또 높은 곳에서 볼 수 있으면 좋겠다. 제 기억으로는 2019년에 젠지가 약간 그리핀 담당 일진이었다고 생각을 하거든요. 베인 브라운.
후배가 진짜 제대로 발랐고요.
네, 기억납니다. 젠지 바텀 상대할 때는 좀 더 신경 써서 하게 되는 것 같아요. 경기대 중요할 때마다 젠지한테 좀 크게 한번 먹었어가지고 그리핀 만나면은 게임을 막 이기더라고요, 신기하게. 일을 많이 좀 갈고 계실 것 같은데 이번에도 저희가 이겼습니다.
우리의 레전드자가 캐리할 거기 때문에 바이퍼 선수를 믿고 가겠습니다. 상당히 흥미로운 대결이고요. 더 열심히 준비해야겠다고 생각합니다.
젠지전의 승리로 다음 경기, 다다음 경기까지 좀 자신감을 얻을 수 있을 것 같아서 젠지전은 꼭 이기고 싶어요.
잘 준비하셔야 할 것 같아요. 바이퍼 아이러브를 믿고 가겠습니다.
제가 있잖아요. 꼭 지게 해드리겠습니다.
꼭 이겨서 좀 저희가 이번 새로운 시즌에도 잘 적응했다라고 보여주고 싶어서 꼭 젠지전도 저희가 만족스러운 결과를 만들어낼 수 있도록 열심히 하겠습니다.
Valdez, I just want to tell you something.
Yeah, what's that?
We just heard how to pronounce the support's ID. Irove.
Irove, yeah. Isn't that what you guys were calling it the
We
other
didn't
day?
know if it was Erove.
No, it's definitely Irove.
Okay.
He roves around the support position, and, you know, this is a big, gigantic test, actually, for the side of Griffin.
Take a look at what is going on here. Starting lineup, Nahyun going to be coming out. And we have to wonder what is causing this after just one performance.
Yeah, one shot, one opportunity, and then you're cut.
Now, this happened before where UCal disappeared from a team for seemingly reasons unknown. It happened with Afrika a long time ago. Now, it is only game one, but it is so strange to me, given that he was considered a high-profile signing. He came in to actually replace this player, and now, all of a sudden, we're back here. Now, they are on red side, so maybe there's some sort of a specific counter pick that Nahyun could be looking to play or something. Maybe a Zir is going to end up coming out. How about that, Valdez? No? A little too far-fetched?
Only if we get Corky alongside of it.
Get out.
Then I'll be okay. You know how I feel about Corky alongside Azir. Always a lot of fun. Nahyun, though, he can bring in those weird picks, as you were talking about, stuff that nowadays would be considered out of the meta. Back in the day, it used to be super normal, and he was good at that kind of thing, so I feel like he did thrive in that kind of environment. But nowadays, I'm not so sure exactly where Nahyun stands. So it's a big test for him. It's a big test for Griffin overall. You were talking about Tarzan as a player. Where does he stand after kind of a shaky performance against Afrika? And where is everybody else? You know, can Viper actually make this bottom lane with a new support in Irove actually work? Whereas on the side of Gen G, they were able to take the win over KT, but that first game against KT was not the cleanest, if you will. So Gen G having their own kind of growing pains coming into the first week here of 2020 LCK, as we are going into the first game of this match up here. Gen G on blue.
See how the draft is going to unfold. We're looking to see if Griffin is going to keep going for the scaling types of team compositions and how Gen G is going to look to approach this. Please let me see Soraka today, Valdez. One time, that's all I'm looking for. Talia being banned away, I think.
You saw Soraka in the ban window. There you go. LS, he's really He's really angry right now. He's literally speechless. He's fuming. You guys
Literally
don't even know.
seething.
Yeah.
And definitely a little salty
Yeah.
right now after
Hey, I
seeing
mean,
these bands.
Yumi's still available. It's
Yeah.
not the same, I understand, but we can have one healing support.
I can't quite read his lips, but I can't tell if Tarzan was just really frustrated with something that he just said. But his facial expression gave me the vibe that he's agitated. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading a little too much into it. As Mordekaiser does bite the dust, is this lining up for... Is lining up for Set to get first picked?
I mean, I'm set for that. If they do want to go for that kind of ban, I'm ready to do it. And there you go. Set is going to be banned right off the bat as Ornn first pick. Okay. So we have something for you here, Ellis. We knew you were a little bit angry with Soraka getting banned, but
There's my favorite Redbeard
yeah, B1.
over there. Yeah, B1 Ornn. Griffin now responding by hovering Aphelios. And we'll see what they want to pair that with. And also, what is Sword actually going to play up in top lane here against the Ornn with Soraka and Mordekaiser and Set banned away? As Griffin probably just want to respond jungler here. Usually the common 1-2 punch. And Elise, so already not opting to go into the scaling type of play, so Genji could already acknowledge that Griffin is committed at least one champion to a pretty volatile playstyle. As they're hovering Xinjiao, it's been a very long time since we've seen this champion.
Yeah.
And he just actually put on some armor and aged 30 years as
30 years.
I mean, what?
Griffin's not
Come on.
that old.
Well, look at his nasolabial folds, along with What?
Did you just say?
Right?
His
Valdez.
nasal labial folds?
Yeah, that's these lines. That's what they're called.
Oh, is that where you get those wrinkles?
Yeah.
I call those nose wrinkles.
Yeah. All right, whatever. Zoe ended up being. Is that Tryndamere?
They keep hovering it, you know?
So
There's a reason behind that. There has to be.
I don't know what it is with the Tryndamere. I genuinely don't really know. Now, I will say this. One game I had Rascal on my team on Tryndamere. Sword was on Set. Sword wasn't happy. That's all I'm going to say. So I don't know if that is possibly what the Tryndamere hover is about.
Maybe.
Because maybe they've actually met many more times outside of that game and Rascal's played Tryndamere, but I'm not sure. Tryndamere, I actually think, is in a fantastic spot right now. The problem is teammates will not want to play around him. This is a problem that many
Not
teams
so
have
cute.
with Kayle, Kassadin, champions that need a lot of time. Generally getting the other 4 teammates to agree,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, I mean,
Because
just
everyone wants to be center of attention.
the word
so.
agree does not exist on solo queue. Summoner's Rift, whereas maybe it can in pro play. Look at that! Tryndamere ban! It's a real thing.
Alright, well,
You don't usually just throw away a ban there. There
Yeah,
has to be
so-
a reason.
Tryndamere, for a lot of people that don't know, he's not a bad champion at all. In fact, I would say that he's actually probably S tier. If you are really, really good at him, the champion is so obnoxious, so strong, and he has so many options that some of the other split pushers just don't have right now. He's very akin to Fiora as well, where even if he's 0-10, once he gets 2 items,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter that he's 0-10. Champions like that are really gross. Just want to point that out, and I love it. I
So it's
absolutely
like
love
in
it.
the line of Soraka.
Oh, well, Soraka doesn't want to fall behind,
Yeah.
but she's still useful if she does. So, Griffin here with a pure Sin team composition, honestly. They're going to need a mage, I think, to come in here, because I don't think that you want only Elise.
Huh.
As the source of magic damage for your team, but it looks like they want to go with Nami. This could be Aphilio's top lane. Against Horn, by the way, and then Lucian ADC with Aatrox in mid, I guess against the Zoe, but looks like they're doing some swaps. We're going to find out what it's going to be at the end, but Genji's team composition is just so good.
Yeah.
Griffin's is... I don't even... honestly, I have no idea what to make out of this. This is straight out of solo queue. You know, like the poster for that movie? It was straight out of Compton. You ever see that movie?
Actually, I did. Yeah.
Did you? Okay.
That is one movie that I have seen.
We need a tan
You
brush.
found one.
Straight out of solo queue.
Yeah. Oh yes. Oh man,
this
there's
team
so
comp.
many things you can do with that.
This team composition is win by 10 minutes or just lose the game. Just go next. And I have to really wonder why, because Yukal is known for his mechanical ability. So why is Nahan being...
Isn't Nahan like a former big Lucian player? Like, didn't he used to play a lot of Lucian?
He does play a lot of Lucian, and I think that a lot of Western viewers, especially if you're new to watching the LCK here, you might think of Nahan when he was on his massive loss streak in the West. But, truth be told, I put Nahan at the best mid laner under Faker, below Chovy, Showmaker, Yukal, of course. So I put Nahan at like 5th, actually above BDD in 2019. So he's not slouching, he's improved so much, he's definitely very good, which is also why it's so surprising Yukal was brought in to replace him, and now he's not debuting.
Yeah, it is definitely interesting to see that happen. So either way, guys, we have the game all loaded up, as it will be Genji up against Griffin, hopping onto the Rift. Match 8, game number 1. Let's get it going. No fan chance here, guys. There's an outbreak of coronavirus in the world, and we have banned the viewers from coming in for now. Hopefully that does change eventually, and we can get our great fan chance going once again.
Alright, so we'll take a look at how this game is going to transpire. Mostly, all the attention has to be on Tarzan versus Klid. Klid just has to match and counter gank Tarzan, because by going even, they're winning. As, okay, that's a bubble.
He's gonna flash afterwards, and he's super dead. I mean, there's just no way you're gonna get out of that. You had to flash the stun. I mean, that's one of those things that you see in solo queue where it'll happen and you'll get hit by it because you didn't flash it because you wanted to be greedy and save it, and then people will just question mark ping you and just be like, okay, this is over.
Yeah.
You know, you have to flash that stun. You have to know that you're gonna die.
I really do like that Griffin is living up to their team composition straight out of solo queue. The Nami was all tapped. Just like in solo queue.
Viper right now, he's
solo queue.
Normally he'd be standing still. Viper right now, he's
solo queue.
Normally he'd be standing still. Viper right now, he's
solo queue.
Normally he'd be standing still. Viper right now, he's
solo queue.
Normally he'd be standing still. Viper right now, he's
solo queue.
Normally he'd be standing still. Viper right now, he's
solo queue.
Normally he'd be standing still. Viper right now, he's
solo queue. As bot lane,
pretty standard.
yeah. Bot lane's having a little slow push. Sorry about that. I had a hiccup. I did not want to hiccup into the microphone. Sword and Rascal sort of dancing with one another up here in top lane.
Where would you place Rascal? Because you talk about this Elite 4 or Elite 3, and now there's Red.
So
it's changing
the
every
Elite
day.
4 used to be Khan, Nuguri, Summit, and Keen, and then just below that would be Doron, and then just below that I would have put Rascal or Sword. Well, actually no, Sword would be probably below Rascal. Yeah, it would be Doron and then Rascal, but now we have the Elite 3 and then Red, which is Chovy. He puts on his robe and wizard's hat. He makes his way to the top lane. Like, wait a minute, who's this?
It's me. It's Toby.
Oh man.
I wonder if anyone would get that boomer joke. That's an old internet joke. That is
Roman
really
wizard
old.
hat.
Yeah, Roman wizard hat, man.
I was watching one of the league survey poll thingy-majiggies.
Yeah.
And it turns out that a very large age demographic is between 21 and 26 for League of Legends viewers.
Yeah, that does,
Which is,
doesn't surprise me.
I mean, that makes some people older than me. So, if I'm getting it.
How? No, you're
Valdez.
You're
I
26.
just turned 20. Valdez, I just turned 20. Okay.
You just turned 26, but you are 26.
Yeah, so,
Right.
so if people have an earlier birthday than me, that's what I mean.
But you said like a large portion of the
No,
viewers.
not a lot. No, I said some, Valdez. Come on.
Oh, okay, okay. I don't know. I have it in my mind that you're this boomer, but I always forget that you're younger than the rest of us. How old is Ejim actually?
How do I know about the boomer things more than you? I'm hipster too, I guess. I don't know.
Hipster boomer. Do we know how old Ejim is?
I want to say he's 28 or 29.
I think he might be a little bit older.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. It would help if we had Atlas here.
Atlas would know.
Atlas would know.
Papa would be able to tell you his birthday too.
Papa would tell you all about his history in the OPL.
Papa-
Like, he
Papa-
would tell you like 2015.
Papa would tell you his history, his birthday, time of birth. He would tell you everything.
Papa literally knows everything.
Yeah.
About anything. Okay, so we're getting an update. Thank you, G-Sun. 1994.
Oh, he's younger than. Okay. I thought he was older.
1994. Wow.
Oh, that's surprising.
What a youngin'.
Yeah.
I'll just have to tell him to get off my lawn when I cast with him for the first time. He's in like a new place. Just make him feel like really awkward. Oh boy. Well,
I want to point
who
something
knows
out.
when that will happen. That
Rascal
fast.
went for Bommy's first item, and this is a interesting thing because when you go Bommies, you have to push, but you invest a lot of gold getting the Bommies, and you don't get that much value. You get the slight burn, which only applies if you stick to the opponent, which likely you don't, and you don't get a lot of HP. So if you do go Ruby Chain Vest, you can actually freeze the wave. And you get more HP, and you get more resistances. Now, you lose out a little bit on the burn.
What's the cost?
The cost difference is 300 gold.
Bommies is 900, right?
Yeah. Or
And
400 gold,
Chain
yeah.
Vest is...
Oh, well, the chain, I mean, obviously you can pick up a chain vest with Bommies, too.
Oh, you're talking about... Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think I know what you mean.
So at this point in the game, we're just having ping pong, and this is not what you want to have happening if you are Griffin. The Atrox needs to get ahead, the Elise needs to get ahead. You also see Jarvan moving towards the Bommies as well, which means that he's going to be tanked. And this is a nightmare situation, because when you have Atrox, Lucian, and Aphelios on the team, there's a lot of incentive to get Ninja Tabi on several targets. And sure, Nami and Elise are going to be dealing some magic damage, but not a whole lot. Elise is also probably going to want to get Leandres. Now, we have a gank coming in here. This is really important. If they... What was that timing?
I think it was pretty close to him being seen, but yeah, that was a strange timing on the Graviton. But I suppose he's not seeing the Cocoon, not going to land, and Viper tanking so much damage trying to get him baited into this fight. And now we do have Jarvan. Lid waiting in the wings, he's level 6, gets the knockup. We have Zoe helping out from mid lane. It's going to be a win in the trade. And with Jarvan ahead like this, you do have to be careful with the Cataclysm online that Clid can engage. And they're making this like a whole spread out engage and invade all together as Rascal taking an offer trade from Sword misses that final Q. Not
So,
sure
this is
about
the
that.
thing that I always talk about, is if you're Griffin, you're the coaching staff, or you're the players, what are you thinking right now? You're thinking, well, my jungler can't gank, my jungler doesn't do anything, we're getting outscaled, I can feel that we're getting outscaled. What was I supposed to do inside a laning phase? Was I supposed to... Now, obviously, there is actually answers. there is lane manipulation that you need to be cognizant of relative to your jungler's path in order to get the lane states to be in exact locations for when the jungler arrives. That's how you steal away flashes and burn summoner spells off of the opponent. That is a really, really tall ask to do, because the enemy team is also cognizant that you need to do that, and they're also pro players. So oftentimes you'll hear the comment, they're not robots. You're goddamn right they're not robots.
Yeah.
Which is why when your only obligation is to not get ganked and play lanes in a certain way to remain safe so that you get to coast freely into a super slated mid-game, yeah, it feels really good.
Sounds really nice.
Yeah, it does sound good.
Sounds awesome. I wish I could have that happen.
Sit on your ass
To
and
my
then win
team.
it 15
Yeah.
minutes. Yeah, that's
Wow.
it truly is impressive. It's
And that is what is happening here. There was one attempt at a gank in the bottom lane, and Tarzan's still a little fine. There have been not too many opportunities for him to gank, you know, don't get me wrong.
fellas, this game is over. Okay, I'm gonna
Is
I'm
it
calling it really
now,
early.
or was it after the failed game?
So, when
Just so we can get a timestamp on this one? Just
So,
because I want to know.
I know some people really don't like when I make statements like this, and what I'm basically trying to say is that, given the assumed level of play of the professional players on both sides, the amount of mistakes that Gen G would have to make several times over is so unlikely that even if it happens once, they still have the scaling, they can recover. And then it can happen again, and then again. And because the Griffin team composition's champions are so slowed down due to nothing happening whatsoever, it's just so unnatural to assume that so many mistakes would keep happening over and over in order to cause them to lose this. So the gold score, it might only say 1,000, but also consider there's a mountain dragon, which normally mountain bolsters armor the most, the stat you tend to have more of. And when all of the champions that are looking to deal damage on Griffin are physical damage and on hit, once the ninja tabis start coming in, which Jarvan likely gonna pick that up, Orin already has it. A little surprising, Kellen has the Merc Treads. It's the only thing, but maybe it's because he perceives himself to be the front line that's gonna get thrown in by Callista and then hit with CCs.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like something that might not happen, so I do like the way that Gen G are playing this very safe early on. You know, in the bottom side they know, okay, they're going to rotate down while we put pressure on the top side. That's fine, as long as we don't die, there's no problem. We can take the trade of keeping our bottom turret alive with 2 plates and you losing your top turret. Very much so.
Yeah.
And it's been a lull state since Nami died, basically. That was the last time we had any real action in this game, and it's almost like both the teams felt forced into this line of play because of the way that the compositions line up against each other. Like, I don't know, I feel like Tarzan could have done more early on.
You know, he absolutely can, but so can the laners. But it derives from what you're saying right there. They have to do more, and they have to look for it. So the ask is on them, the responsibility is on them. But when you look at the lane matchups, outside of Lucian Zoe, there's not an awful lot of control. And when you consider how dangerous the counter ganks are that can come out from Jarvan, it's a real nightmare. So then, you keep playing the circle, and it's like, well, why would I do this to myself? And obviously, if you're a super elite team, you can choose things like this, and then you can beat lesser teams. And oftentimes we'll see this in the LCS, the LEC, or we'd see it in the LCK, where top teams could do it against Jin Air of old.